Welcome, everyone, to the Lansing Catholic Podcast. My name is Father Joe. I'm the chaplain here.
And I'm Mr. Stolpa, Dean of Intellectual Formation.
And we've got some announcements about this week. So what's going on this week, Mr. Stolpa?
Not a whole lot, but there's some very important things going on. Report cards, Father, come out on Tuesday, the 15th.
Oh, man. Are you failing any of your classes?
Oh, yes, but that's not the point. My report card is different. Okay. Have you ever failed a class, Father?
No, but I did withdraw from one. I took Greek when I was in major seminary and got 3 or 4 weeks in and was like, I can't handle this. So I wanted to just drop the class, but apparently it was technically too late. I was like a day too late to just drop it. And so it had to be on my transcript as a withdrawn, and it's still there to this day.
We have 2 guests with us right now, Brynn Anderson and Julia Sambaer.
Hi.
Hi.
And so they're kind of listening as we do this. But, Father, I have a announcement from one of our avid guests.
Oh, what's that?
And by that, I mean listener. So I have a friend, but he listens. I'm
sure you have lots of friends.
He's a listener.
Still.
He's in Oklahoma City. His name is Dr. Jason Fujikawa. And he has his own podcast. It's called Better Pears.
Oh.
From the St. Augustine Tale of the Pears. And here was his feedback. You certainly have considerable show prep and production principles, but you give a vibe of the whole time being held together by duct tape and anything happen on the show.
What would possibly make him think that?
How accurate
Which
is
part?
that?
The part that we have considerable prep? And as I told him, our prep is you come to my office and say you want to record the podcast and say sure.
Well, I guess
and we sit down and I say, who's the guest?
I'm flattered that he thinks our production quality is good.
Yes.
But the impression of being held together by duct tape, I have to say, is accurate.
Accurate? What color duct tape?
Let's say cougar blue duct tape. Why not?
Well done, Father. What else is going on this week? If you have not been to any of Mr. Salo's parent, ladies, you were in his class last year. What would you call his poetry club, his seminars?
His poetry club?
Well, he's doing it for parents.
Is there a new poetry club?
Well, he's doing it for parents.
A parent poetry club?
Well, I don't think the parents write it. I think they just go and discuss with Mr. Salo about literature.
The parents talk to Mr. Salo about poems.
Yes.
I think the idea is they go
poets.
and experience class with him. It's like his class, but for parents. Yeah, I was here one night when it was happening. All these random parents kept showing up. It was our last adoration night. I thought they were coming for me, but they were coming for his thing.
Were you letting him into your adoration?
I was like, clearly you didn't listen to the podcast because we explicitly said parents were not invited to the adoration.
I'm pretty sure that most things that happen in school can be summed up with, clearly you didn't listen to the podcast.
All right. I don't really have a whole lot going on my end this week either. It's a pretty normal week. We've got house mass Wednesday, Friday, adoration on Friday. Got some personal retreat days. I've got 3 of those. So Miss Amy Poljan will be on Monday. Stacy DeVries is Tuesday, and Ginny Orcutt is on Thursday. So pray for them.
What is a personal retreat day, Father?
Well, I think we've talked about it in the past, but basically it's a teacher
no one listens,
who signs up for a day where they get to come to school, but instead of teaching, they get to have a retreat day, which includes a holy hour in the chapel, spiritual direction with me or with this other director at Resurrection Parish named Liz O'Neill, and then another holy hour, and then we give them lunch. And then the afternoon is free for them to either keep praying or just do work or go home and take a little siesta.
Nice.
So it's a pretty good gig.
That is a pretty good gig.
So we've got lots of teachers taking advantage of that.
There we go.
Well, should we go to our interview then?
Let's do it. Let's make the official transition.
All right. We are now transitioning
Here
to
we
our
go.
interview.
We should probably take a break here, Father, so we can play the official transition music.
The transition music. Well, we have 2 guests on our show today. Thank you so much, Brynn Anderson and Julia Sambaer, for coming in
Hi,
today.
thanks for having us.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves, what grade you're in, and where you went to school before you came here?
Oh, okay. So I am a senior right now. I'm in 12th grade. And right before this in middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, I was homeschooled, but I also went to St. Michael and Grand Ledge before that.
I'm a senior, and I was homeschooled until 3rd grade, and I went to St. Thomas after that.
So those of you listening, the first voice you heard was Brynn. The second voice is Julia. And if you've heard before, Brynn's mother is Mrs. Anderson, Mrs. Dawn Anderson, and she's our college counselor. So if you remember back, we did a whole interview with her before the ACT, and it was wonderful. So the reason we have you guys on, and we really want you to talk about, because you have the rare feat of defending your golf championship. So I don't know. I was trying to look up to see how many times this has been done in the past, because you won last year, correct?
We did, yes.
And pretty handily, or was it a bit of a struggle?
I'd say we did it pretty well, to be honest. We had a 17-stroke lead on the first day, and the second day was really bad weather, but we just had to
Was last year the snowy finals or the rainy finals?
Last year was rainy, really
yeah.
rainy.
And because this is your third state championship you've played in, right? Or is this your fourth?
This will
This is
be
our
4 if we make
and,
it.
and the two of you together as the seniors, you graduated 2 last year. Is that correct?
1 last year.
1 last
right?
year.
Well, Tessa.
Or 2. Tessa and Sophie
She's
Hauser.
our 5th.
Okay,
Tessa
so
was
you've kind of
fifth, yeah.
brought back the whole team to play this again. And you have regionals on Wednesday in Kalamazoo. So you get to skip another day of school.
Oh,
How do
yeah.
you
Oh,
how do
yeah.
you guys do before we get to the golf? How are you guys able to do your studies and miss as much time as you do for golf? So those of you who don't know, golf is pretty much the greatest high school sport because you get to miss all the time and not
Absolutely.
to be sick to go play golf. And we have had the greatest fall in the world here, where you guys have had pretty much sun every day. So how do you keep up with your studies and your golf?
An insane amount of time management. So I just, because we have practice every day after school, right? So I just think it's really like, you might need a little bit of caffeine, but you go home, lots of coffee, but you go home right after practice and you just have to honestly grind out all the work that you can before you go to bed, because sleep is still really important. And to get enough sleep is also really hard. But it's really just doing the best you can with the time that you have and sacrificing some of that free time. You won't, I mean, you'll get it back after the season's over, but you just
And it
gotta
is a relatively short
sacrifice it.
season. You're done October 19th. I
October
believe.
19th, yeah. It's a short season, but
Yeah.
it's super jam-packed.
So and all your classes are going fine right now?
Yes.
You're
Yes.
both kind of giving me looks on that
Hesitation.
one.
No, they are. They are.
Yes,
Report
they're going
cards are out,
great.
remember, on Wednesday.
Yeah. Should be good.
Should be good.
Should be good.
Has it been worth it to miss the amount of time you have of school and to put on that Lansing Catholic? You have your polo and your white skirt. Is it worth it with the amount of time you've missed to play the sport for Lansing Catholic?
I would say so. I think
I
so.
think so. We're representing Lansing Catholic, and we have to be, we have to have integrity. So I feel like that is one of the reasons that I love this sport. It's taught me a lot of lessons.
Have you
And-
ever had a time where you like, I'm not gonna count that shot. I'm gonna kick this one.
absolutely not.
Kick this
Yeah,
one
me
out of the
either.
rough.
No.
Kick this one off
Maybe
the
we'll
tree
talk.
root.
Maybe we'll talk about our freshman year state finals.
Oh,
later.
yeah.
Oh, that was a controversial
Yes,
one.
it
Tell
was.
tell that story.
Okay, so it was the 15th hole of the second day, and we are tied. I'm the 5th player, and as you know, if you're tied, you have to go to the 5th player's score, and you have to compare the two teams. On the 15th hole, wait, did I say 16th?
And this is you as a 9th grader.
Yes.
So this
As a
is
freshman, yeah.
as a
As a
freshman.
freshman.
So you're having all that pressure.
Yes. The girl I was playing with that we were tied with, she did not count one of her, well, actually 2 of her strokes. But she didn't technically lie because she said that she made her putt, but she was on the fringe, I guess. I don't know the details. But
It wasn't clear. It wasn't
it
clear
was
at
not
all.
clear.
Because then your partner, your playing partner, writes down your score.
Yes.
Is that right? So
Yep.
whoever wrote it down
Mhm.
so she just said I made my putt,
Yep.
assumed it was, let's say, I don't remember, it was a 4 or a 5.
Yes, she said that she got a 5, but she went out of bounds and she didn't count that stroke, I guess. And she also missed her putt because it was like a 70-foot putt, and it was.
You're probably not going to make that.
Exactly. I was like, I did not cheer for you.
And this
I
is
did
at
not make
this is
that.
at Forest Acres, right? Over here,
Yes.
wasn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
And we had like 10 people following us. None of them could give their word for it. I saw it. The girl that was keeping her score on the scorecard didn't see it. She like walked away. On the 16th hole, we were arguing the entire time. And as you know, maybe, you have to attest before you get to the tee box. So I had to put her score in the app as a 5 because she told me it was a 5.
Okay.
And she attested it. So then we were like, we're just going to figure it out when we get to the tent. We get to the tent. Both teams are still tied. And we get in there. And I say, she got a 7. She did not get a 5. And the girl couldn't, like, fight for it because she didn't see it. And then the other girl was like, no, I got a 5. Like, I got a 5. And the team was already celebrating because we were the last people out there. And the rules officials said, well, it's already in the app. We're not going to change it now. They're already celebrating. And so then I was like, well.
See, I'm surprised they don't have more referees around to like keep an eye on that.
I
That sort of
know.
thing. This is like a
Exactly.
state
I know.
Well,
champion.
and that's what's
Exactly.
interesting about the whole thing. It's a very honor-driven sport, and
Yeah.
especially, and they do it on purpose for the girls and the boys in the spring to try to test this and to check their mettle. And so it's interesting that happens on 15 because then you have 16, 17, and 18 where you now have to keep playing knowing this is the thing.
Yes.
So how did you figure out, or how did you sum up all the energy, courage, and to finish the 3 strong, to make sure that didn't dominate your thoughts?
Honestly, it really helped me because I wasn't worried about how I was playing at that point, because I knew that I was the 5th player and like my other teammates were scoring, like the top 4 were scoring. So I was like, I'm just gonna get up there, I'm gonna do what I can or whatever, but I have to like get this done when I get back in there. So it honestly was like I was thinking about it the whole entire time, which kind of took away from the actual golf to be played. So I wasn't really like getting upset with myself for playing bad golf. But yeah, it was definitely rough when I got back.
So last year, though, you did win the state championship.
So, right, I was going to say that. For both of you, how much did that experience your freshman year drive you and motivate you last year and this year in the off season and all the time in between?
I just think it was such a valuable lesson that you could never like reciprocate, even if you didn't have the experience that you did. And now I personally didn't go through it. It was Julia, but someone so close to me going through that had such a big impact on like how important it is to make sure that you attest to the correct scores and you go over it every score at every tee box just to keep things going smoothly, you know? As like far as it affected how we won last year, it's just you just learn from all the experience that you incorporate throughout like the last 3 years or the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was just a really good reminder and really good experience to have with us to just remember that you have to make sure that things go like correctly, I guess. And
that's why you win by 17 strokes, since you never have to worry about those kinds of things.
Yeah, no,
I mean, it's kind of what it is, Brynn. You take advantage and you take care of business while you can, so that technicality things like that, you have to control your own destiny to some degree.
Yeah.
So something like that.
I think it also taught us all on the team a lot about the integrity of the sport. How like the MHSAA app does it is just kind of iffy in my opinion.
Is that the
like,
Wanamaker app?
It's the I Wanamaker, yeah. Because like Father Joe said, you don't have the referees or anything who are watching girls on every hole. And I mean, you have the parents, but sometimes parents are biased and parents can get upset, you know, and same thing with like the girl who's playing. So sometimes it's just really hard to make sure there's that aspect of honesty. And I just think it was a really good life lesson for us as a team to learn about staying true to ourselves and staying true to what happened, because I mean like an honest 45 is better than like a 40, because you can say like I actually got a 45.
Yeah, like I went to bed knowing that I didn't lie.
Mm-hmm. It is interesting about that. One, I think that's why, Father, they say that golf is the most Catholic of all the sports.
I didn't know that.
So yep.
True.
Isn't that because lots of priests play?
Well, probably, but I think it's both. It's a combination of everything. But it really does test you and push you in the same kinds of ways. And you're right. So you got a 45, but you know you didn't kick any balls out of the sand. You didn't take your breakfast ball. You didn't play any mulligans.
Sadly.
And when you have your 40, you're like, all right, but I also know, I had that one, I had that shot. And so it really is a test of integrity and a test of your mettle.
Yeah, it has just trained my mentality beyond belief, because being able to walk 18 holes and have the sport go really slow, to have the mentality to keep going and keep it a constant pace is just something you can only learn through that.
It is, and I don't know any other sports, and Father, you probably see this a little bit with your sailing, but it's so much downtime and it's so much time in your head. You hit the ball and then you have to walk to your next shot. Mm-hmm. And the only things to think about are who's out there watching and also my next shot. And you really got to find the focus. And so do you guys have any keys of what you key on when you're making that walk, or do you just kind of talk to your playing partners? What do you like to do?
I mean, everybody has their own thing for sure. Like,
are you a don't talk to me kind of person?
Yes, she is.
Are you? Are you?
I'm not mean about it. I'm not rude about it. But it's like if somebody's really chatty, I'll just kind of like walk away, because if somebody's voice gets in my head too much, it's hard for me to just focus on like think about my own thought process to be able to shoot my shots,
Yep.
But Julia over here is a big talker.
Are you a chatty Kathy?
Yeah.
I love to talk, and I also cry a lot. on the golf
When you're
course.
Yeah.
Yes.
when
Does
you're
that improve or make your
Not
game
really.
worse?
Not.
I don't
little
think
bit.
I don't think it improves it. But yeah, it kind of releases the tension, I guess. I don't know.
Well, golf is sort of similar to bowling in the sense that you're not necessarily going against an opponent. You're just trying to
Yeah.
play the best you possibly
Mm-hmm.
can each time you're up there taking a swing or throwing the bowling ball. So it's very much a mental game. You
Oh,
have to keep
very
your head
much.
in a good space. Otherwise, it can all
Yeah,
fall
it's all
apart.
against the course.
70% of it's mental preparation. Like once you have your technique down and you know how to practice your technique, it's all mental preparation.
Do either of you have plans to play golf competitively after this?
Possibly.
Ooh, is
Possibly.
this an announcement?
Ooh,
here,
this
Brynn?
is new.
I
Is
mean,
this the signing day?
not, not quite. Not quite.
Breaking news? Brynn Anderson is committing to.
This is new.
No commitment, definitely not. But I mean, academics for me is my number one. But I mean, if you know me, that's pretty obvious. But I
Your
mean, if
independent studies in Greek and
yeah,
advanced logic would say
I
to show
I
that.
stayed true to my Greek class, Father, and it was very fun. But anyway,
That was a shot.
sorry.
I didn't know
But-
you studied Greek. I shouldn't have shared that story.
No, that's okay. It was
Miss Caldwell was
interesting.
teaching her.
Ah.
Because you don't want to tell us where you're playing golf next year.
Oh
That's
no, like just if the opportunity presents itself and there's a golf team that like I'd be able to join, I'd think about it, you know. So possibly.
If you
But-
ever go anywhere and they have an extra golf simulator lying around,
Oh, you know, I might.
we
pop in
need
there.
one here for the furtherment of our Dean of Intellectual Formations golf game.
I'll
Oh,
keep you
God.
updated.
Just send
I'll
me a
let you
box of
know.
that. Just send me stuff.
All
And
right.
Julia?
I have a few offers, but I'm not quite sure.
Well, we'll make sure when you're ready, we'll have the podcast again. Maybe we'll do a live show.
Oh,
and we'll
that's
stream it.
perfect.
And we'll say,
That
now to
sounds-
Jules. And she'll tell us.
So any shout outs for this year's team or anything going on right now you want to talk about?
Today is a captain's choice practice. So today we're
exciting.
playing at Gross Beck, play 9 holes, and it's kind of like the captains decide like what you do in like a game you play. So there's this thing called Portuguese caddy where it's basically the formal name of like where you can kick your ball if you want.
So that's why I started
Yeah.
laughing when you said kick your ball.
Do you
And
only
I was like,
get
I'll be
one
doing that
kick
today.
per-
So
hole
yeah,
or
we're gonna
something?
do one kick per hole where you can just kind of get it out of a bad lie if it's in
Okay.
a bad spot, and then we're gonna.
Can
There's
you
this,
kick it towards the hole on the green?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
you
yes,
can.
but you can't kick it in the
You
hole.
can't kick it in the hole,
Okay.
but it's fair
But if
game.
you have a 70-foot putt, you could kick it.
You
Does
can-
that and that doesn't count as a
and
stroke?
it does not count as
Ooh,
a
that
stroke.
sounds
Doesn't
like
that
what
sound
you wanna-
fun?
This sounds like what you want to do. Just hold
Yeah.
it for the
But
green.
it's only one a hole.
Yeah,
Still 9 the whole day.
Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
actually true.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
That's gonna
All
be
right.
fake
Plug
score.
your coach, plug your meets coming up, your matches, and just
Oh,
let us
all
know.
right. Yeah. So
Okay, regionals, Heritage Glen on Wednesday in Pawpaw.
By the time this drops, that'll already
Oh,
have
yes.
happened. That's
so
okay.
we will win that.
Okay. Fair enough.
yep. I don't know, but
Okay.
States
We
is
have-
on the 18th and the 19th of October.
Friday
where
and
is that
Saturday,
one?
everyone should come.
Where is it?
Forest Acres West.
West. Okay.
Yes,
Close
in
by.
town.
Anybody around on that's a Friday, Saturday, right? Or
Yes.
is that Saturday, Sunday?
Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday. Anybody around, go out to Forest Acres West.
Rain or shine. Right.
Mm.
Ooh,
And-
it's
and-
actually supposed to be really nice weather.
It's supposed
But
to
if
be
there's
very
bad
nice.
weather, do they ever delay or cancel?
Oh no, Father! Last year they played in snow. The year before that they
So
played
that's
rain.
why I said rain or
There's
shine.
been
like, it's gonna be
hail,
happening.
there's
It's the
been
British
we played
Open
when the
out here.
greens were completely puddled last year.
completely.
Yeah, and they had to squeegee them off. We had to go inside
Yeah.
for like 2 hours. It was
Oh,
pretty
at least
crazy.
you got to go warm up.
Yeah, it's only thunder
Yeah.
and lightning when they stop us.
Got it.
It could be a downpour
Yes.
if there's no lightning and you keep playing.
Yeah, and actually they'll have us still play if there's thunder if it's like within a certain
oh yeah, a certain
amount
distance.
of miles. Yeah, they won't stop.
Hardcore, hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
We're
we hope
holding
you
our medals.
guys win and survive, because if you die out there, that'll probably be a really blemish
be a
on the
little
game.
sad.
On the
Yeah.
Catholic game.
Yeah, but I mean, also real quick, our coaches, we love our coaches.
Oh,
so
yes.
much.
Oh
We
yeah,
love our
plug your
coaches.
Yeah.
coaches.
Oh yeah, Coach Kim and so Kim Johnson and Coach Mary Finnis. They're
They're
amazing.
the best.
They're amazing. I mean, the organizational skills, the supportiveness, the planning is just it's amazing and it can never be reciprocated. I'm not even kidding.
No.
Can you guys beat them
In what way?
In a 2v2 match. Not
Absolutely.
A wrestling match.
All day.
Beat your own coaches.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Coaches, we apologize if they're saying these things incorrectly, but they are throwing down the gauntlet right now. Brynn
are.
and Jules coming for you.
Oh
Future
yeah.
Lansing Catholic coaches.
Well, thanks, girls, for
Yes.
coming on the show. Best of luck in all these
Thank
golfing
you so
endeavors.
much.
Thank you so
laying ahead.
much.
We wish you all the best.
Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
Letters. We get letters. We get sacks and sacks of letters.
So we're just going to give you a heads up about a Q&A
Letters.
coming up. We won't go into great detail because it's next week, but on Wednesday,
Oh,
October 23rd.
Father, that's a preview of coming attractions right there.
Yes.
Quite a teaser.
Wednesday, October 23rd, we do have our fall semester parent-teacher conferences. So mark your calendars. It's from 1 to 6 p.m. We'll give more information next week. Or should we just talk about it now?
Well,
Because
we'll give quick ones here. It is drop-in, so you do not need to make a appointment with your teacher. However, if there's you want to talk to your teacher, go ahead and email them. But they are, for the most part, unscheduled. So you can drop in anywhere between 1 and 6 and talk to your teachers about all the good things. And there'll be no bad things. So that's good.
Now, are teachers or are parents obliged to meet with every teacher?
No, not at all, Father. They can pick and choose to meet with certain teachers, no teachers, all the teachers, whatever they think they need.
So basically, you show up with whatever teacher you want to meet with. If they're already meeting with somebody, you wait outside in the hallway until it's your turn and then move on.
Yes, that there should be chairs outside of each one. And Father, if they want to purchase anything, will there be any opportunities to do so?
Yes, the Spirit Shop will indeed be open to get
Dun,
all the
dun,
finest
dun.
Lansing Catholic swag.
We will may or may not have the state championship girl stuff in by then. We're not sure.
Parents, if you would like to provide lunch or snacks for our teachers before those conferences, we would be happy to accept any and all donations. You can contact Mrs. Lynn Collum about this. Mr. Stolpa, do we have conferences in the spring that they could know about?
Why, yes, Father, we do. On Wednesday, February 12th, there are spring conferences to meet with your springtime teachers.
All right, everybody, mark your calendars. That's all we got for now. Have a great day. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest at Lansing Catholic. I'm Father Joe,
And I'm Mr. Stolpa.
and we'll see you next time.
Keep playing the Catholic game. Golf.